current global outbreak of the coronavirus is unprecedented. Never before has the health of so many declined so rapidly and simultaneously. It has never before been so important to take care of your well-being and the well-being of others. I'm Makeda Patiri, and I'm an Associate Category Strategy Manager at Unilever. And in less than 5 minutes, I'm going to answer 5 important questions to consider in taking care of your well-being while working or learning virtually. So if you're personally struggling with remote school or work, here are a few pieces of personal advice I would give. Number 1 is prioritize a balance between work and study time and personal activities that you enjoy. Number 2 is make sure you have regular touch points of communication between your colleagues, your peers and friends, your professors, your study group, to keep that connection with your community and just make sure you're getting everything that you need to do your best work. The third thing is kind of identify the types of things in your environment that will help you work your best and implement those things. And then the last one, and arguably most important, is maintain perspective. We have to accept that the future is unknown to us right now, and the best thing we can do is be present and do what we can to make each day positive for ourselves. So it's really important to kind of be in tune with, recognize, and then manage if you are feeling any sort of intense anxiety while being remote. Unilever's Chief Learning Officer, Tim Munden, recently sat down with licensed psychologist Dr. Guy Winch to share a bit about recognizing and managing anxiety while working remotely. So here are a few highlights from that. Dr. Winch describes anxiety as a persistent feeling of dread that is hard to personally articulate and identify. He recommends using a mood tracker, something like an app or a journal, to track your feelings daily and determine if you are having some sort of persistent feeling like this. If those feelings are making it hard for you to focus on your work or just do the daily activities that you enjoy, you might want to seek some help from a professional. So in addition to taking care of our own well-being at this time, we want to make sure we're taking care of the well-being of others, our loved ones, colleagues, friends, peers, etc. And one of the best ways we can do that is through empathy. And one of the best ways we can show empathy is through active listening when we engage our loved ones, colleagues, and peers. So a few tips and skills on active listening include things like giving someone your undivided attention, making sure you show them that you're listening through eye contact and your body language, making sure to defer judgment on what they share with you, making sure that you respond appropriately and acknowledge the validity of what they've shared, and lastly, making sure to provide helpful feedback on a next step for them. So here are a few ways I've been managing good mental health and wellness while working remotely at Unilever. The first is with no separation between place of work or study and kind of the place to unwind, setting boundaries is essential. I set aside time both before and after work to do other things I enjoy without looking at my phone or laptop at all, 0%. And I like to take breaks during the workday to reset. Another thing is just getting outside as often as possible. I try and get outside just about every morning to re-energize myself with sunlight. And it really just also helps re-ground ourselves in the outer world and the natural world, which is much larger than our living rooms. Finally, just because you don't have a morning commute to work or school does not mean skimping out on your sleep. I always try to get a full night's rest to stay resilient and healthy. So there are a few really great practices that Unilever has implemented to support balancing work and mental health during this time. The first one is a fully flexible policy around working hours so that everyone can kind of tailor their schedule to their needs and specific situation. The second is strong encouragement from every level of leadership to take vacation time. The third is a policy called Summer Fridays, which we do each summer, where on Fridays we end our workday at about 1 p.m., assuming we take a little bit of extra time during the week to make up those hours. And then the last one is an employee assistance program where you can seek help if you need it, as well as a fully resourced global well-being hub that includes things like courses on managing health for individuals and teams, articles, and tea talks with registered health professionals. By taking time to assess how you're doing and checking in with others, you can begin to make adjustments to support and optimize your well-being. No matter what your situation is, a healthy mind and body will always be key to functioning as your best self. So take some time to consider some of the tips shared and see where you think you can make a positive change. We hope these tips are helpful to you and give you some tools to be positive and joyful while working or learning virtually. And to learn more about Unilever or to join our talent network, please join the link below. Bye.